Hey everyone, how we doing today? This is James Sweeney, aka SplitSuit. Welcome back to another video. And as part of the Ask SplitSuit a Question series, a couple people did ask hand history questions, and this one actually came privately via YouTube. And SN wanted me to look at this tournament hand, so let's check it out. Okay, so this is a micro limit MTT on PokerStars. The blinds are 1.2, 2.4 with a 240 ante, and in this exact situation, there's an open for a min raise and a 3-bet, and here we are. And Feja is an 18-14, and Dragon is a 25-18 with no 3-bet numbers given. Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying that I am not an MTT specialist. I have not played enough MTTs or even sit and goes over the last couple of years to feel confident giving super strong MTT answers, but I'm still going to do my absolute best here. So in this exact situation, here decides to call, and I personally think that of our three options between folding, calling, and coming over the top, I actually think that calling is going to be by far and away the worst option. If we call, we're putting in almost exactly 10% of the starting stack that we have. And what's our plan? Because think about it. If we decide to call in Feja shoves, are we calling? Well, that's probably not a go. So we're just essentially burning up these 6 big blinds. That's not great. If we decide to call and we go heads up to the flop, it's going to be a pretty small SPR against Dragon, or a very, very small SPR if Feja decides to call as well. That's not great for us. So I don't really see much good happening by calling. So you could 4-bet stack off if you think the Dragon would stack off wide enough. However, we are starting the hand with 60 big blind effective, and I'm not really sure if we're going to be able to get that in super profitably. I'm not really sure what stage of the tournament we're in, but chances are we can do better with 60 big blinds. We could go for a 4-bet fold, say essentially like a min 4-bet, and that is certainly an option that's viable. You could also fold if you think the Dragon is 3-betting a pretty strong range that you really just can't get involved here. So there's a bunch of different options here, but I think by far and away the calling is going to be the worst. I just don't see this being very, very profitable. I don't see how we're going to get out of this profitably, and again, I just don't see a return happening here. But as played, we do end up going heads up to it, flop an overpair, and face a c-bet by Dragon. So again, this is one of my issues with calling preflop, is that we put ourselves in a situation where it's 3 SPR, and even on like the lowest, absolute safest board in the entire world, how excited are we, right? Because if we're going to call here, which Hero did, and I just expect that's what most players are going to do, they have a clean overpair, so they're going to call at least the first bet, is that once we do that, we've put in 40 of our 140 starting. I mean, that's a very, very large chunk of big blinds that we've already put in, and what are we going to do? Are we going to call off on turns and rivers? Are we going to stack off somehow? And how profitable is that really going to be? Is Dragon taking ace king to the felt, or is Dragon throwing in 1 c-bet and then we're massively reverse implied odds against the rest of his range? So I just see this being a situation that wasn't great, but again, it started from pre-flop. So as played, Hero decides to stab on the clean turn card, ends up getting check jammed on, which sucks because now we're getting a great price, and Hero ends up stacking down and ends up running into 8s, and that just simply is what it is, and the results aren't nearly as important as what goes into the pre-flop decision. Again, I think calling is going to be the absolute worst. If any MTT specialist wants to correct me, I'm all ears for it. I just don't think this is going to be good in a cash game, and I certainly don't think this is going to be good in an MTT where it's one life to live. I think we definitely could have done much more damage with our 60 big blinds in other ways than just by calling off 10% of our stack pre-flop with it. So again, I'm not really loving pre, and pre is really the main inflection point here, and again, that sets up for everything. So if you are constantly refining your pre-flop decisions, it's going to put you into better SPR, it's going to put you into better spots with better ranges and more edge, and obviously at the end of the day, that's what's going to pay the bills. So Essen, thanks for the great hand, and hopefully this gets you started the next time you find yourself in a similar situation. And if you or anyone else has a poker-related hand or question, feel free to leave it in our Google Plus page. I'll leave a link for that in the description box. And also, please make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying these types of videos. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, good luck out there, and happy grinding.